Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we are going to discuss about one of the chapter in microeconomics in code ECO 162. We are from AC1101K. We are from group 1 consisting of 4 members, namely NURAISHAH binti MASZLAN, AINA MUNIRAH binti AZUAN, NURUL AMEIRA binti Muhammad SUHAIRI, and IRDINA SUHAILA binti Muhammad ISMAIL.
Hi, my name is NURAISHAH binti MASZLAN.
Hi, my name is AINA MUNIRAH binti AZUAN.
Hi, my name is NURUL AMEIRA binti Muhammad SUHAIRI.
My name is IRDINA SUHAILA binti Muhammad ISMAIL.
We would like to present our work on topic demand. At the end of this chapter, you should be able to know what is the definition of demand, law of demand, factors affecting demand, and the last is changes in quantity demanded vs change in demand. So, people demand for goods and services in economy to satisfy all their desires. In economy, goods are items that satisfy human wants and provide utility. Goods are physical, tangible things we produce. We can touch or handle them. People buy or sell and eventually consume them. For services, these are activities that other individuals, companies, or government departments do for you. Examples include the police force, ambulance, healthcare, and education. So now, what is the definition of demand? Demand is a consumer who wants or desires to have a product or service must have the ability to buy, purchasing power, and willingness to pay for the said good or service. The different quantities of food or services which buyers are willing and able to buy at different possible prices in a given period of time, ceteris paribus.
Okay, the next one is law of demand. The law of demand states that the higher the price of a product, the lower the quantity demanded of that product. And the lower the price of a product, the higher quantity demanded. For example, if the price of chicken decreases, the quantity demand for chickens will increase. The consumer will prefer to buy more chickens when these are cheaper. At the same time, a consumer's purchasing power increases since they can save money when the price of chicken falls. So this is the graph, which is the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded, and it will be negatively related, which is quantity will be decreases and price will be increases. So next, about individual demand and market demand. So for individual demand, so for demand schedule, it shows the quantities that consumer is willing to buy at different prices at one particular time. So this is the table, and the demand schedule represents a functional relationship between price and quantity demanded. It assumes that other demand determinants such as income, preferences, and price-related goods are all constant. So for price, which is for pilot pen, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ringgit, and the quantity demanded is 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 unit. From the table just now, so this is the demand curve. It illustrates the quantity purchased at different price level, which is the demand curve shows the relationship between the quantities of pilot pens demanded and its price, provided that everything else is constant. The demand curve must slope downwards due to the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, according to the law of demand. So we have put all the price and quantity, 2 quantity demanded, 5 price, so and so on. So this is the curve. Individual demand and market demand. Actually, we can construct a market demand schedule for pilot pens. Some buyers from a higher income group would be willing and able to buy more at a particular price, while the lower income group would buy less than the former group at the same price. Individual demand and market demand can be explained as follows. So, for individual demand, the relationship between the quantity of a product demanded by a single individual and its price. For market demand, the relationship between the total quantity of a product demanded by adding all the quantities demanded by all consumers in the market and its price. So, the market demand is the combination of individual demands, which is if we have two individual demand, we have to adding it, and we will get market demand. So this is the market demand and individual demand. Market demand, so the definition is the horizontal summation of all the individual demand in the market at certain price level at a certain time period. So this is the schedule for pilot spend for market demand. If the price was 5, for individual 1, the quantity is 2, but for individual 2, the quantity is 4. So, if we want to get the market demand, we have to adding the quantity for individual 1 and individual 2, which is 2 adding 4, we will get the market demand, which is 6. And same goes to another row, we have to adding the individual 1 and individual 2 to get the market demand at the same price. So based on the schedule just now, this is the curve, which is the first curve is for individual 1, second curve is for individual 2, and third curve is for market demand. So for individual 1 has price 4 but quantity 4. For individual 2, it has same price as individual 1, which is 4, but the quantity is 5. So the market demand is for price is 4, but the quantity is 9 because it was adding the quantity 4 and 5 for both individual.
The next one is factors that affecting demand. The first factor is price of related goods. There are two types of related goods, which are substitute and complementary. Substitute goods mean a good that can be used in place of another good. As example, stall A sells beef burger and stall B sells chicken burger. Both stalls are selling the same type of food, which is burger, but with different ingredients, which are beef and chicken. If stall A increase the beef burger's price, consumers will choose stall B even though it sells chicken burger, because consumers will prefer another burger that is cheaper. So, the demand of beef burger will decrease and the demand of chicken burger will increase. Complementary goods mean two goods that need to be used together. As example, a car will not be able to move without fuel. So, car must be used together with fuel to make it able to move around. If the demand of fuel decrease, the demand of car will decrease as well because people cannot use car without fuel. The second factor is consumers' income. If consumers' income increase, the demand of goods will increase too because people are able to buy more goods. The third factor is tastes and trends among consumers such as iPhone, tea life, and ramen. As example, Korean ramen is popular among people nowadays and has become a trend among teenagers to make a ramen challenge. In the time being, the demand of ramen will increase because a lot of people will buy it due to its popularity. Factor number 4 is population. If population of people increase, the demand of goods will increase as well because there is a large number of buyers that will buy goods. Factor number 5 is expectation about future price. As example, if consumers expect that the price of onions will increase next week, consumers will buy a large amount of onions in this week because the onions price is still reasonable and not increased yet this week. This situation will increase the demand of onions. Factor number 6 is advertisement. Advertisements can influence consumers' decision to buy goods that have been promoted in the advertisement. As example, if sellers promote their goods by posting attractive advertisements in their social media, the demand of their goods will increase as the attractive advertisements successfully attract other social media users which are also consumers to buy their goods. Factor number 7 is festive seasons and climate, where demand of certain goods usually increase during the seasons. As example, when school holidays almost end in December and a new school period will start in January, parents often buy a lot of school stuff such as stationery items and school uniform for their children on that time. In this situation, the demand of school stuffs will increase. Factor number 8 is level of taxation. Taxes will affect the consumer's income. If government charge a high level of taxation to consumers need to pay high taxes to government. So, the consumer's income will decrease and the demand of any goods will decrease as well because consumers not able to buy more goods. Factor number 9 is supply of money in circulation. Supply of money related to loan. As example, people need to make a bank loan if they want to buy luxury goods such as cars and houses. But, if bank loan and interest of the loan increase, people will not able to make a bank loan as they will face difficulties to pay back the high amount of loan in the future. So, demand of the luxury goods will decrease.
This is what difference between change in quantity demanded versus change in demand.
First, change in quantity demand, and it refers to movement along the demand curve, which is caused only by a change in price, and the demand curve doesn't move, rather we move along the existing demand curve. In such a case, other factors influencing demand are held constant. The fall and rise in amount demand due to the change in price is technically called a contraction and extension of demand. The demand function or the demand curve never change. The change takes place in the same demand curve. The existing demand curve contains the change in the different price-quantity combination. In case of change in quantity, demand movement takes place along in existing demand curve. Okay, next, change in demand. What is change in demand? Change in demand due to the change in the factors other than price. Price remaining constant, these factors bring about a change in demand, which is called change in demand. The change in demand involves increase and decrease of the demand for a commodity. The change in demand implies a change in the demand function itself. And in case of change in demand, the entire demand schedule and demand curve will change. With an increase in demand curve, shift upward, and with a decrease in demand curve, shift downward. Thus, change in demand takes place on the different demand curve.